So, before we talk about Bandish Bandits, I understand that you are a musician, correct? उसके बारे में बात करते हैं.
Okay.
All right. How did that happen? Since when have you been a musician? When did that journey begin?
I have grown up listening to शास्त्रीय संगीत. हमारे घरों में होता ही था वो. I grew up in an environment where everybody around me was also learning music. Whether or not they wanted to be professionals, they were really proficient at whatever they are doing. Somebody used to play sitar, even my friends. Somebody was learning tabla, somebody was learning how to sing or something or the other. Music ही music था. तो हमारे घर में भी वही था. I started learning music actually from a very very young age. I found a wonderful guru, Shri Vipul Kurlekar. That was my major introduction to Indian classical music. So Ragdari Sangeet. As I grew older, the rebellious hormones also took over. I got very attracted to Western music because तब cable TV just आना शुरू हुआ था. So that was my exposure to वेस्टर्न म्यूज़िक. माइकल जैक्सन, उनके एल्बम्स आ रहे थे. डेंजरस आया था उस वक्त. ब्लैक एंड वाइट याद होगा आपको गाना, right? That was all happening. Eagles and Bryan Adams and all these people, I could start seeing them on TV, on cable TV. And I spotted the guitar and I was like, ये instrument मुझे बजाना है. And I started telling my parents when I was 16 that I wanted a guitar. Yeah, those were the beginnings of the guitar, but actually music की शुरुआत बहुत बचपन से ही हुई थी.
How and when did music become a profession? Was that also something that you were clear about at 16, or did you know that you wanted to be a musician?
Actually वो थोड़ा सा madness हो गया एक तरह का, because between the time that I told my parents that I wanted a guitar and till the time I actually was given a guitar, बीच में काफ़ी महीने चले गए थे, and वो obsession हो गया था मेरा. I would play on whatever even sort of looked like a guitar. It could be a broomstick or a tennis racket, or that was my alone time activity. Music लगाओ, रॉक म्यूज़िक, और मिमिक करो. मैंने तब तक गिटार देखा भी नहीं था, माइंड यू. आई हैव ग्रोन अप इन अ लोकेलिटी वेयर, मतलब आसपास कहीं गिटार था भी नहीं, किसी के दिमाग में भी नहीं था. आई डिडंट नो इफ आई वांटेड टू बी अ प्रोफेशन और नॉट, बट दैट दिस इज़ व्हाट आई वांटेड टू जस्ट कीप डूइंग. एंड अभी म्यूज़िक का एजुकेशन जितना रेडीली अवेलेबल है उस वक्त था नहीं. वेस्टर्न म्यूज़िक एजुकेशन, एंड इट वाजंट सो रेडीली अवेलेबल इन बॉम्बे. यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड.
So from there to now being a professional musician, to being an established musician, what has that graph been like? Were there any challenges? Were there any obstacles?
For sure. I mean, for a 16 or 17-year-old who cannot exert their will confidently because experience का backing है नहीं, तो किस बुनियाद पे तुम ये बोल रहे हो कि नहीं मुझे यही करना है? What if it fails? So ये ख्याल तो मुझे भी आते थे उस वक्त. एंड हमारे घर पे जो बड़े थे वो बोल रहे थे कि दिस इज़ एन अनस्टेबल प्रोफेशन, एंड दे आर राइट. दे वर राइट. फ्रॉम देन टिल नाउ इट हैज़ बीन मोर देन 20 years since I've even been playing professionally. The entire landscape has changed. So when I started, places to play acoustic guitar in were very few and far in between. But then the commercial aspect of it also comes into play once you're in your early 20 years. Everybody has a job around you. All your peers are already on to their first jobs and their तरक्की उनकी हो रही है, एंड तुम 500 और 1000 रुपये के लिए रिकॉर्डिंग्स कर रहे हो, तो थोड़ा वो मतलब इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू सॉर्ट ऑफ जस्टिफाई दैट चॉइस टू योर सेल्फ. यू हैव टू बी मैड इन अ वे टू कन्विंस योर सेल्फ कि नहीं यही सही है. काम क्या कर रहे हो? नहीं, काम तो वैसे ज़्यादा मिल नहीं रहा है, बट फिर भी यही करना है. ऑन दैट बेसिस आई वुड से येस, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज़ चैलेंजिंग, बट आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज़ एनी आर्टिस्ट in the world who doesn't have this kind of challenge. Like, this is a path that you're making for yourself as you walk. So there is no example, there is no parallel that you follow. So of course there are challenges in that regard, you know. And of course everything has changed now. Technology has changed. Music technology has changed. A lot has become easier, but also difficult because there's a lot more competition now. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything if I were to ever travel back in time. I would still do the same things all over again. I love this journey and I love being a musician.
That's lovely. But Krishna, what about music is allowing you to retain this madness that you're talking about? What does music mean to you?
See, anything I say is going to sound shallow. Yeah, because music has given me my identity. Music has been my protector. Music has been my best friend, my guitar especially. There are times when all of us feel lonely, abandoned, uh, for no fault of anyone else's, but you did go through heartbreaks and this and that. There's one element in my life that has always stood steadfastly by me, and that's my guitar. I have, in my own foolishness, tried to abandon music sometimes, thinking that, oh, I need to do a job now. This is not working out. I need to have a stable source of income. Let me forget this madness. Let me join some company or some job. I have tried to abandon it, but it has never left me. So I don't know what to call it. Music is everything.
Music is everything. Can you tell us a little more about what kind of music you do? Is it the same kind of music that you have been doing for 2 decades now, or have you ventured into different aspects of music, and what is it that you do these days with music? Can you just tell us a little more about that?
I do what I had never imagined that I would do when I was starting out. I play devotional music. I play spiritual music for a living. That's what I am. I am a bhajan singer. I'm a spiritual musician who plays bhajans on guitar, electric guitar. Had I planned this? No. I'm still stunned after doing it for more than a decade. So I joined a spiritual organization, and that's when I got introduced to bhajans, and that they could be sung on a guitar, and that they could be sung in this way, that they did not have the stereotypical format of bhajans that we all know and are familiar with. That's how it started, and slowly I've started offering that as a service to some of the most prestigious families here in India and in Bombay. So that's what I do now. But essentially, I still play the guitar in the way that I know how to play guitar, playing with chord structures, and I can't ever play just a plain old chord. It doesn't do it for me. So I still have all that behind me, all the learning that I have picked up, what my gurus have taught me. So that still comes through, But I end up singing spiritual music. But I do it in a way that is interesting to me. Thankfully, it has found a common ground with my listeners as well.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. The fact that you play and sing bhajans it's well, why not? And I'm glad that that is something that you do. But listen, how does, if you've been doing this for more than 2 decades, and I can only imagine that this is something that you're very comfortable doing now, whether it's the bhajans or anything else that you play on the guitar, how do you keep the excitement alive? How do you, because at the end of the day, if this is a profession, then like every other profession, it stands the chance of being or getting monotonous. So how do you keep that spark alive for yourself?
So that same excitement about music and composition. So I compose a lot of original music. I don't like to sing other people's songs. I have one life as a musician. I want to sing my songs or other people's songs in my way. So I began composing bhajans. But on the guitar, I still sort of view a composition as a guitarist first. I think you and I were talking about it the other day, right? Every musician's primary instrument sort of reflects in their compositions or the way that they compose things, So it's the same with me. So I compose original bhajans of my own. I love to sing them on stage, and every single time that I sing them, it feels like I'm singing them anew, because it's like a churning that happens. Every single time you go around the composition one more time, something new evolves from it. So that's number one. Number two is that I also produce my own music, electronic music. With my Indian classical background, now I compose Indian classical electronica. So there was a phase in my life where I did a lot of those kind of gigs also. Like I've traveled through the length and breadth of the country. That keeps me very excited. Being able to produce your own music, it's a huge gift.
Krishna, if you got to change any one thing about the way music is looked at in our country, what would that be? Is there something that you would like to change? And if yes, then what is that one thing?
Definitely. I think we as a culture are extremely vocal centric. The singer is the center of our attention. But मुझे ऐसे लगता है बहुत regrettably we have had such a long history of music in our country, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years upon years, but we have become and remained unfortunately very vocal ही मतलब सब कुछ है. गाना मतलब गाने वाला, क्रिएटर के बारे में, कंपोज़र के बारे में, उसके पीछे गिटार किसने बजाया है, पियानो किसने बजाया है, वाइब्रोफोन, कितनी लग्गियाँ हमारे यहाँ पे फिल्म्स, इवन इन आवर फिल्म म्यूज़िक, तबले की वजह से एक आध गाना मतलब फेमस हो चुका है, मतलब गिटारिस्ट की वजह से, बट उनके नाम भी पता नहीं है हमको. एंड दीज काइंड ऑफ म्यूजिशियंस हैव डाइड इन एनोनिमिटी, समटाइम्स इन पेन्यूरी. सी आई एम नॉट ब्लेमिंग द सिंगर्स हियर. ये हमारा कल्चर है हीरो वर्शिप का थोड़ा सा. तो वो मेरी एक कंप्लेंट ज़रूर है. सिंगर्स आर डूइंग देयर जॉब, बट सो आर द म्यूजिशियंस. In fact, I would go ahead and say that the job of a musician, an actual instrument player, is a lot more difficult. The understanding and the depth of music that you need to have in order to become a musician who can actually be on stage with another singer is unimaginable. तो वो एक चीज़ है that audiences need to mature. So इसीलिए बैंड का कल्चर जो वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक में है ना, कि when you know a band, you don't know just the singer. You know the drummer, you know the guitarist, you in fact have fans of bass players also. तो ये कल्चर वहाँ पर है बहुत ज़्यादा, and I highly appreciate it. जो हमारे यहाँ पे बिल्कुल नहीं है. You ask somebody on the road, name one guitarist, favorite guitarist, Indian guitarist, favorite violin player, बताओ कौन है? पता भी नहीं है. So ये थोड़ा ट्रैजिक है.
तो ऐसा क्यों है?
See, and I'll tell you this also. I don't like to be called a singer. पहले मैं म्यूजिशियन हूँ and I'm very proud to be a musician. हमारे यहाँ पे अगर ना वाइड स्प्रेड म्यूजिक एजुकेशन अगर होता, and I'm not talking just about vocal, आप तानपुरा को सितार बोल देते हैं, सितार को वीणा बोल देते हैं, पियानो को कैसियो बोल देते हैं, मतलब ये हमारी परिस्थिति है आज. सो इट्स वेरी ट्रैजिक दैट हमारे यहाँ पे म्यूज़िक का एजुकेशन अगर होलिस्टिक तरह से अगर किया जाए एट मास, आई एम सेइंग मास स्केल पे, दिस सिचुएशन विल चेंज बिकॉज एज अ पॉपुलेस हमारा अवेयरनेस भी बढ़ेगा कि म्यूज़िक मतलब सिर्फ वोकल नहीं होता. एक कॉम्पोजिशन जब बन के आती है साथ, कितने एलिमेंट्स हैं उसमें, कितने सारे एलिमेंट्स दैट एक्चुअली मेक अ सॉन्ग. एंड द फनीस्ट थिंग इज़ दैट स्पेशली सिंगर्स ऑफ टुडे, all the contemporary very popular singers of today, they also acknowledge the role of musicians, but abhi tak that message has not been passed on to the audiences. So I'm hoping that in a couple of decades that happens.
अब बंदिश बैंडिट्स की बात करते हैं. I want to know from you, so we've been speaking about your life as a musician. How has Bandish Bandits happened? Did you want to be an actor? Did you put yourself out there? How did Bandish Bandits come your way?
Well, I think I'll spend the next few years also pondering about that in my own mind because no, I have never wanted to be an actor because I did not think that I had it in me. Once you have decided in your head कि नहीं ये तो हमारे बस की बात नहीं है, तो then you don't go that way, right? You keep trying some other things. So it was like that for me, that other people are actors, not me. I don't know how it has happened. I got a DM one day from my casting director. He said it's for a web series, etc. I went through a couple of rounds of auditions and then I met Anand Tiwari, our dear director. Anand sir made it very, very simple. He took it all upon himself. He's like, just learn your lines, I'll do the rest. We had a lot of fun on the set, a lot of learning. There's a lot of hard work, of course, that goes behind all of that. So I was sort of physically also prepared, for that. I got a DM, went through auditions, got the role, and here we are.
And now that all of you, but especially you, are tasting success because of the success of Bandish Bandits. तो अब क्या ऐसे लग रहा है कि इसमें भी कुछ और करना चाहिए कि is this something that has been a one-off thing for you and then you're just happy going back to your music?
I am very open to life. So there is no way that I'm going to say, that's it, now I'm done. Oh no, I'm just getting started. Abhi to शुरुआत हुई है. Bring it on. But of course, I mean, music will always remain my first love.
What's the future looking like for you if you have a vision of it?
There's a lot that I learned on the set. It was not only a unique experience for me, but calling it just a unique experience would be belittling it. It was a huge experience. I have come back with a wealth of knowledge and direct knowledge, which I have been inspired to imbibe. There are the crew and the entire cast and the way people work tirelessly without complaining, come rain or shine or personal problems or not, they just work, you know. All my cast members, some of whom are now my friends, they have such a great work ethic and I am just inspired right now. So what I am doing right now is taking away lessons, improving my mindset first, because I believe that there is always room for improvement. There is always something that you can learn, be it positivity or be it changing your perspective or, you know, looking at everything from a more powerful sort of level higher up. There is always room to grow upwards, you know. So that's what I'm busy doing right now, be it, you know, making more content or making more music. I think those are my goals. How can I be of a better mindset going forward, progressively better, progressively more powerful, progressively more established in myself? Who am I in this world? How does life operate? How does the world operate? How do goals become fulfilled? How has that person managed to do that? What is his mindset? What can I learn from that? So I'm very busy gathering all of that right now.
Just years hoping that you keep progressively progressing and that this goal, and this is such a fantastic goal to have, to just keep progressing in the mindset, in the mind. बस ऐसे ही नई नई चीज़ें आपके साथ होती रहे और आपका म्यूज़िक और आपका एक्टिंग लोगों तक पहुंचता रहे. Thank you so much for your time today. It was fantastic chatting with you.